She thought she was climbing the corporate ladder until she realized the ladder was attached to a gallows. For Laura, a sharp, ambitious lawyer at one of Dublin's most prestigious law firms, life was perfect. She had a corner office with a view of the River Liffey, a six-figure salary, and the respect of her peers. She was on the fast track to partner, the golden child of the firm, mentored by the legendary senior partner, Arthur Vance. Life was a perfectly tailored suit, crisp and clean, until she pulled on a loose thread and the whole thing started to unravel. It began subtly, with a file that shouldn't have been on her desk, a routine property acquisition for a new tech client. The numbers looked clean, almost too clean. Laura noticed a series of shell corporations, layered like Russian dolls, all tracing back to a single offshore account in a country known for its banking secrecy. It was a faint whisper of something wrong, a slight dissonance in the corporate symphony. She mentioned it to her direct supervisor, a man named Declan, who laughed it off. "That's just how the big boys play, Laura. Don't you worry your pretty little head about it." But Laura wasn't the type to not worry. Her curiosity was a switch that, once flipped, couldn't be turned off. She started digging in her spare time, late nights fueled by coffee and a gnawing suspicion. Cross-referencing files, pulling old records from the archives, she began to map out a vast network of transactions. Millions of euros were being funneled through the firm, washed clean through legitimate-looking investments, and then disappearing. It wasn't just one client, it was dozens. The firm wasn't just practicing law. It was a laundromat for some of Europe's most dangerous criminals. The crisp, clean suit she thought she was wearing was stained with filth. The threats started as whispers, just like the discovery. Her office was mysteriously searched one night, files slightly out of place. Her laptop began to glitch, the webcam light flickering on at odd times. Then came the direct warnings. Declan cornered her in the elevator one evening. "Some things are better left buried, Laura. You wouldn't want to get your hands dirty, would you?" His smile didn't reach his eyes. The paranoia began to set in, a constant, cold companion. Every footstep behind her on the cobbled streets of Temple Bar felt like a threat. Every ringing phone sent a jolt of fear through her. She felt like a mouse in a maze designed by snakes. Laura knew she couldn't go to the Gardai, not yet. The firm's reach was long. She needed irrefutable proof, something they couldn't bury or deny. She started a shadow investigation, using encrypted drives and burner phones. She secretly copied files, recorded conversations, and traced the money flow to its ultimate source. The deeper she dug, the more terrifying the picture became. This wasn't just white-collar crime. It was tied to trafficking, to violence. She was dancing on the edge of a volcano. She copied all the evidence onto a single, encrypted USB drive, her only lifeline. The frame-up was brutally efficient. One Monday morning, she walked into her office to find two grim-faced detectives waiting for her. They informed her that a confidential informant had come forward, implicating her in a massive insider trading scheme. They had logs, emails, bank transfers, all pointing directly at her. It was a digital ghost, a perfect forgery of her life, designed to discredit and destroy her. They'd used her own ambition against her, painting her as a greedy lawyer who sold out for profit. As they led her out of the office in handcuffs, she saw Declan watching from the boardroom, a triumphant smirk on his face. She was the scapegoat, the perfect sacrifice to keep the machine running. But they made one mistake. They underestimated her. During a transfer, Laura saw her chance. A moment of distraction, a chaotic intersection, and she was gone, melting into the Dublin crowd. Now she was a fugitive, her face plastered on the news, her name synonymous with crime. She was alone, hunted by both the law and the criminals she was trying to expose. Her bank accounts were frozen, her friends were too scared to help. She was a ghost in her own city, living in the shadows, moving from one cheap hostel to the next. Her only hope was the encrypted drive, now clutched in her hand like a holy relic. She had to get it to someone who could break the story wide open, someone outside the firm's corrupting influence. She remembered a tenacious investigative reporter, Ronan, who had written about corporate corruption before. Using a public library computer, she sent him a coded message, arranging a meeting at a quiet, little-known cafe near St. Stephen's Green. It was a desperate gamble. If they found her, it was over. The minutes in the cafe felt like hours. Every person who walked in sent a fresh wave of panic through her. She sat in a corner booth, her back to the wall, her heart pounding a frantic rhythm against her ribs. The drive felt heavy in her pocket, a small piece of plastic holding the weight of her entire life. She was about to give up hope when the cafe door opened again. But it wasn't Ronan who walked in. It was Arthur Vance, her mentor, the man who had guided her career, who had always praised her integrity. He walked towards her table, his expression unreadable. Was he here to help her, the last ally in a world of enemies? Or was he the final piece of the puzzle, the true architect of her downfall, here to silence her for good? As he sat down opposite her, a single question echoed in the silent, terrifying space between them. Friend or foe? What do you think happens next? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe for more thrilling tales. Thanks for watching.